So what's good, YouTube? This one we got a low taper, and like always, I'm gonna start by combing out the hair, and then I'm gonna set my guideline in, and I'm gonna do like a circular guideline at the bottom towards the start of the fade. But we're gonna make sure we don't go up too high, cause that's the whole purpose of a low taper. So if y'all like my tutorials and my videos, make sure you subscribe, cause now I'm starting to try to get more consistent, man. I'll try to do a video or two per week. So make sure y'all tap in with me. We got a lot of tutorials coming. So as you can see, I'm just setting in my guideline right here. And his texture is pretty easy to cut. Nothing too much to it, but the nicer your guidelines is, the nicer the fade gonna come in. So you wanna always make sure you have a clear guideline to what you're cutting. Then I'm gonna bald it out right under that. So now we're gonna go up with the one guard, leave it halfway open, and we're gonna flick out at that line that we created. So now we go half guard, all the way closed, and we're gonna transition between this line that we started with the guideline and where we flicked out at with the one. So now we just detailing, we going with the lever open, and I'm just going above that line I went with my one guard, and I'm just getting the loose hairs that I see to get the detail of the fade. Now we got mostly everything set on this side. I'm gonna put in my C-cups and then I'm gonna detail a little bit more. But as you can see, it's looking nice even without enhancements. So that's the whole point. Nowadays, everybody want to use enhancements, but who's the real barbers? You know what I mean? So we got to make sure we know what we doing before we even get to that, bro. And if you're a beginner and you learning, bro, I would suggest mastering how to cut without enhancements before using it, honestly. So as you can see, this line right here is all out, but I just don't like the bulk. So I'm gonna come in with no guard, lever open, and I'm gonna just play with that for a little bit just to smooth the transition out. We're gonna start with combing out, and as you can tell, the C-cups on this side looks slightly different than the last side, but that don't stop me because we already know what we cut, and we did one side, we're gonna do to the other. Exactly the same. So I'm gonna set in my guideline just how I did on the last side. And I'm gonna set it kind of low like I did, because that's the whole point of the low taper. Make sure I don't go too high, because that's not what the client wants. So now I'm setting in my guideline and I'm gonna bald under it. And I'm gonna do the same steps I did. Honestly, bro, it's really just about matching. As long as you know what you're doing to one side and it comes out smooth, that's what you gotta do to the other side. So I'm going in with my one, lever about all the way closed, and then I'm gonna go up about a ½ inch. Not too much, because it's not that much room to work with as we're working with a low taper. You can tell everything that I did to the last side I already did on this side. Now I'm just detailing. It's coming out really good. Once you get half the cut down, bro, the last part is really detailing. That's gonna make you stand out from any other barber, bro. If you sit there and take your time. I'm not saying take 2-3 hours on his head, you know, but once you get the basics down and you know your routine for your cutting, bro, sit there and just take extra time to detail. C-cups. Back of the head is really the simplest part, bro. Honestly, you just sitting in the guideline, and for some reason, a lot of barbers say this, and I believe the same, bro. The back just feels way easier, like it blends better than the sides. So I start off with a line in the back, straight, and then we ain't gonna go too high. And then cutting also makes you realize, bro, like people's head shape does matter and it's different. Cause somebody will have like a bigger space on the side of their head, so you can go up higher, but the other people is not so much, you know? So it's really knowing what you're working with at the same time. Pause. And then you're gonna go up with the lever open at that same line. Then you're gonna come in about lever midway open right under that to smoothly close it out. Cause if I just go lever all the way closed, it's gonna get out the line, but it's gonna be like a harsh guideline, and you basically just push the whole guideline back up. So lever close, I mean halfway, I'm sorry, and then I'm gonna go lever close. Then we're gonna go back in with the one, and we're gonna go lever about midway open. And we're gonna go higher up, so into the bulk. Then once we do that, it's not finished just yet. We're gonna go half guard, lever close to blend out this bottom. Now to the detailing. Like I said before, it's important to just go back and detail your work once you're done fading and you got it to how you want it to look. You know, always go behind yourself and just detail. Now don't get to detailing to the point where you just doing crap, then you mess up your fade, you know, so just go back and detail. It's always good to do that. Now we're gonna do the hairline, bro, and right now I'm just using this, the best thing you could do is use a toothbrush to get all the hair in the front, just to get it laid down. And I'm gonna start in the middle and work my way to each side. So this is what I use for my enhancements. I use the Tune 45. And yeah, bro, it's time for that sauce now. You don't need to pour too much. So just how I did with my clippers, I start at one side of the head all the way to the other, I'm sorry. So make sure I apply some shaving gel on the straight razor because I don't want to cut him. And then you just stretch the skin and you glide it across.